Let's walk through the trailer before we cover it up with long, I'm going to call them laths that are going across the top of the joists. I'll maybe even talk a little bit about some of the things that I changed from what the book had just because of the trailer that I am modifying into this eggmobile. Let's take a closer look. So didn't that work really easy? I was trying to hold this with my hand and drill at the same time, and once it gets so far, the whole thing would like spin in a circle. Very unsafe. So using the little clamp down here, way easier, no stress on the hands at all. So that's what I need to put on one of the joists. I have a bracket for each side, a nut bolt washer for each side, and then the wrench to tighten it. Okay, so I have my hole marked here to hold this bracket here, which is working out just well. It's going to be there. I got this bolt going through here, so I'm just going to miss this bolt because I'm going to drill this. See how close I am? I'm going to drill right there. Just miss that bolt. Before though I get the proper size, which is this one, I need to swap that out, put in one that's a little bit smaller, and that's going to get me through easier. And take that out, open all the way up to get the big one in. Okay, that's set. Let me go get my bolt from the other side. So these will be the two bolts, one for each side, that I'll use to hold it down. Alright, now I'm going to go to the other side. Maybe I'll tighten that down just a little bit. Just enough I can still turn it a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to go get the other side. And that's how it goes. I just have, I think, 2 more that I'll have to do this, and then the rest is on the wood back there. Some of you may be asking, why didn't I do the welding part? That's one of the skills I don't have, and I also don't have a welder. Someday I hope to learn that skill. So to sort of get around that, I'm just, drilling both. I would have had to drill this hole anyways right here, but drilling this hole too, and using a bolt nut to hold that. Now I'll go to that side, and then the next part will be is to like get around the top part of the wheel right here. So here's a little recap on what I did, because this top is going to get a 1 inch by 1.5 inch long piece of lath that's going to go from one end to the other. So I'll start here at the front. I started right down here because that was the first spot where we could bring across our first joist. And from there we drilled holes, put an L bracket on both sides, and we took measurements from the book to make sure that we had our proper spacing. And then as you can see, I'm running wood this direction. The reason for that was to extend the back of the trailer, because this trailer did not have any metal that went back that far, so I extended it back. How did I hold that wood on top? Let me go back down to the close look here. So that wood is held on right here. So this bracket is open on the bottom right here where we put a bolt through, and then another screw / leg goes from this angle right here, pushes through, and then that wood comes up here and is held in again by a bolt right down there. So we have 6 of those that extend back. Here, of course, I just used a lag bolt to go into the wood instead of using a bolt that would have a nut on the other end. And then I did on these 3 joists as well, I did angle, I did angle a screw in on all those spots to connect the bottom to the top. I did use a line here. I used my string to make sure that I had a straight line going down the back here, because this side has the L bracket, the other L bracket is way over here, and it was a little bit bowed in the middle, so I did straighten that out with the screws. And then last but not least, I did put a few sort of spacer blocks in, but the purpose of that is, and you'll see that right here, right here's one, and then right there. This is a spot where when we're going to move the trailer, move the eggmobile, that the ramp for the chickens to come out will slide in right here. There could have been one on the other side, but we decided not to go with it, really for the main reason that was supposed to go on that side, but we had all these metal brackets up, so I would have had to cut those metal brackets off over there. And so we're just going to go with one door, and then go with one omelet door that will open and close upon hours set for it. And then right here I added the wood here and wood over here, and this is where the stairs will go to walk up into the eggmobile. I think it's turning out rather well so far. And the next step is to chalk a line down the middle, and then to get our official length of what our trailer is. And then we have still our whole stack of almost 16-foot wood here that we'll cut down. So I guess one more modification that I'm going to make when we do this, directions do call for a 1x2. So 1 inch thick, 2 inches across. I don't have that. I have this other free wood, so it's going to be 1.5 inches across instead of 2 inches, and then 1 inch thick. So I'm going to run that through the table saw, and then we'll make our spacer block and do our space in between each one before we, I think my plan is to drill them and then screw them down with the 2.5 inch deck screws. After a while, you know, using your finger and telling me to push it one way or the other. You know, if you're starting to see space on there, or to raise it higher or lower.
But I will have my hand over here.
Yeah, you're just sort of keeping it against. And you may have to hold the wheel down if the thing starts to bend. Alright, you get the power on. Just pull it. I know it's not push.
Right here?
Yeah. Alright, we're at the halfway point here. This side right here is done. Let me show you, get my head out of the way there. Alright, see that board right there? So instead of using my 1.5 to go over, I would have had to use another one to get that space, because remember, a wall's going to go there. So I just basically measured what I would need, and that was about 4 inches. And then so what we did was, when we were cutting the 2x10, then we had a little bit even more than 4 inches left, so I didn't think it was that bad. Let me show you. That crack is a little bit smaller. So right there you can see the crack is a little bit smaller because I slid it in, but it's a nice straight one. It's 2 screws holding that edge. And remember, I would have been off on that a little bit because the book says to use a 1x2 with a 1 3/4 spacing, and I used, since I was cutting down a 2x10, I did a 1 by 1.5 with a 1 3/4 spacing is what I did. Alright, so I already have 5 more cut for this side over here, And I'm gonna get to that.
Hi.
Okay, the floor is all done. Feel like it could be a dance floor, but if you are wearing high heels, you may have a few issues. So the kids have been bringing around the other wood. So if I just recap a moment, the wood that we just used, that was the joist in the house that we took down a number of years back, like 3 years ago, and cut it apart now for our big laths to go across here. And the wood that the kids are bringing around now, that's from the older part of the house. So that wood probably is anywhere from 80 to over 100 years old on that part of the wood. And so that is going to be what we're going to use to make our walls, and then we have to put some spacer blocks in there as well. And then eventually all four sides of the wall will have the chicken wire that goes on the top to allow airflow as well. So I think we have enough time to get started, and we're going to do a little bit more of that tonight. Right?
Yep. You want to help me with this? Never mind. You should. Come on, outside.
There you go, perfect. So now you're gonna keep that wire going right down.
So am I just rolling it backwards?
Yep, we're just gonna roll it back. I'm trying to get this initial part down. Run out of staples, just ask. So when you do it, make sure you push down hard and then do it. We framed up the, I guess you could say, the wall part of the front of the Eggmobile. That's over there. It has 5 posts that are going up and down, and then we got 2 going this way, so I'll just flip up and go like this. So now we're gonna make that identical to this side. So we need 5 2x4s. So we have 4 so far, and the girls are cutting another one. This one here is going to go on the bottom, and then we're going to mark them out and nail them up with some galvanized nails that have the little rib in there so that the nail doesn't come out.